Sorry?
Good evening, viewers from around the world. My name is Afolabi, and I'm here this evening with Warifa Marcos. We are continuing our series on the Rivers State crisis in Nigeria, and this is Political Animals. Warif, how are you and how is Port Harcourt?
Port Harcourt is fine. At least it didn't rain today.
It was raining cats and dogs yesterday in Lagos, but the weather is a bit mild today, like you rightly said just now. Sim Fubara and Nyesom Wike are involved in an ongoing political crisis, a conflict which has started to take some other dimensions. A good number of the projects that Nyesom Wike embarked on, he didn't complete most of those projects, and most of the contractors are asking for money to complete those projects. But the party are now against Fubara, accusing him that he doesn't have his own projects, that he just merely doing what Wike started. What are your thoughts on this as we open a new, I don't know whether to call it Pandora can in this conflict between Nyesom Wike and Sim Fubara?
To me, it does not matter whether you complete the ongoing project before the previous government left. Continuity is what matters, just like in Lagos State. That's one thing I fancy about Lagos State, continuity. Whether you're in line with the former governor or you're having issue with him, you continue the project. If not, there'll be lots of abandoned projects here and there in the state. So for Governor Sim Fubara to have started or maybe to continue with where Governor Wike stopped, the former governor, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. But the APC acting chairman in Rivers State was accusing Governor Sim Fubara that they asked him, how can they score him? He said you give him 0/10, that the governor has no, what's it called? No project of it. It's not proper because a white man was.
These are people that are feeding. These are people that are feeding from Wike's Wike's breast.
Yeah.
For want of a better word.
We just playing games. It's Maradona playing games with them. APC, PDP here and there. Like always say,
yeah. Okay, so you were
saying. Sorry, I didn't get you.
Yeah, I said I'm apologizing for cutting you short. You can continue. You were talking about the projects.
Okay. Yeah. Like if you continue with the projects, uncompleted projects by the previous government, it shows that you are wise. Because you cannot just leave uncompleted project and start another project. That would be waste of money. So for you to have completed that one, that makes it better. But for the acting APC chairman in Rivers State to have said that Governor Sim Fubara does not have any, no, at least he has started some projects and he's completing the other ones to show that he has the people at heart instead of abandoning those projects and going for his own. So that's my own opinion.
Yes, I agree with you, Warifa. And he has left a huge debt burden on the head of Sim Fubara. A lot of those contractors were paid partially. They were not paid completely. So, and they are complaining now that those projects have not been completed and their payments are outstanding. Fubara exposed many infrastructural projects that were completed with outstanding payments. Contractors were promised future payments after project completion. A lot of this money has been squandered and used for Rivers State personal gains by Wike and his supporters, his allies, so to speak. Now, the contractors are now demanding their balance payment from the current administration under Fubara. There's no wisdom in proceeding on any new project. Like you rightly mentioned, if outstanding projects have not been completed, Fubara admitted his involvement in the previous administration. But even as the accountant, he's not the governor general of the state. He still has to take instructions from Nyesom Wike. So all this is becoming very, very messy. And it throws Wike into very bad light. In fact, I won't be surprised if Wike starts to get under the spotlight of EFCC. Because there's been a lot of cover up, and Sim Fubara too, because of his loyalty to Wike when he was his accountant general, has not really spoken out on a lot of misappropriation of funds that went under during Nyesom Wike's regime as the governor. And Wike should not forget that Sim Fubara is enjoying the support of the River State people at large, and some of the big wigs in PDP, the former governor of River State, Peter Odili, has come out to openly endorse Sim Fubara. So it's not looking good for Nyesom Wike at all. What would you think the end game for Wike would be? What would you think his next line of action would be? Considering the case of the affected lawmakers is already in court now, what do you think the Wike's next line of action will be in Rivers State, considering all what is happening presently?
One thing about Governor Wike is that he's a grassroots politician. He knows how to play his game very well. You cannot really cage him in a particular sport. Wike will always study the water before diving in. Right now, himself and what is it called? Odili, they are not in good terms. But he knows how to play his card. He knows how to balance it. Like, for example, one thing, politicians you cannot really trust them, because before you know it, they will settle. So I believe that's why Sim Fubara is very careful not to go across the board. But what I see right now is that since former Governor Wike and Odili, they are not in good terms. Sim Fubara but if you watch most of the projects that were commissioned during his 1 year in office, both the former governor Odili and his wife, they were present. If not for the issues, but the former governor would have been there because of this.
Hello, are you there?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, the signal is breaking. Okay, so you said most of the commissioning and activities he has done has been visited by Governor Odili and his wife. Yes, they are strongly backing
Governor.
Yes, Fubara. They're strongly backing Governor Fubara. But what do you know about this Onelga, this 1LGA, and the local government chairman of this 1LGA? That's another area of another hot topic.
That's the Ikwere local government chairman.
Okay, the Ikwere local government chairman. Okay. So what's the latest on him and all this crisis now? Because I know Wike is from Ikwere. Wike is an Ikwere man.
Yes, from Obiakpo.
Obiakpo.
Yeah. No, Wike is not from Ikwere local government.
Okay, it's not from Ikwere, from Obiakpo.
Obiakpo.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
But the chairman is a strong fan of Governor Wike.
Oh, I see.
So he's standing with Governor Wike, and their tenure will expire by, I think, June 18th. Okay. But because of some issues in the local government and whatever. So I don't know if you've seen the video. It was daring the governor, saying that if they burn him well, he's waiting for him. So since then, we've not heard any other thing, issue from
Is that not very funny? You are daring the governor, the chief security officer, River State, because of someone that is sitting in Abuja as Minister of FCT.
But it's not right. It's not right, because the governor, the chief security officer of the state, and the local government, they are under the state governor.
Yes, they're under the state governor. Yes. It just goes to show that a lot of people have been sponsored by Wike to make the state ungovernable. They just want the guy to continue to have issues. And he's not finding it easy at all. That's why I just believe that that's why he's reacting that way, because it's really not easy. He has inherited a lot of debt. And if you look at the way he continues to talk, there are a lot of things that he has to settle. A lot of guys were not being paid salaries. There are some people who are political opponents to Wike who are ruthlessly dealt with. I can see Fubara is bringing those people to his side. So it's really difficult for Fubara to be coping with a governance with traitors, within the camp. I just wonder,
Sorry, are you too?
Yes, why I'm just so puzzled is that in all of this, the president himself is not even saying anything. He's just very quiet. I would expect that the president would at least, it's obvious to everybody that his peace accord cannot work and is not legally right. So I would expect that at his level, he should be able to wade in, because River State is very, very key to the revenue of Nigeria as a country. They can ill afford any problem that can destabilize River State. So I think they're sitting on a keg of gunpowder, really. What do you think, Warifa? I feel the president should have been more decisive than trying to be political. His solution was more political than decisive.
Like I believe come 2027, the second term, I believe the president wants to continue and will be instrumental in him. So that's he's trying to keep the relationship, not to cause any misunderstanding. So you just keep the relationship. Then for the issue about the government salaries, the governor said since the local government chairman will be leaving office soon, and again they are not loyal to him. Even when he invited them for a function, they don't come. He said he wouldn't want to pay the salaries to the local government account or lack, so that they don't mismanage it. He said instead the state government will direct to local government workers, because the local government chairman that stay in office is short. That was, I think this was about say 2 or 3 weeks ago. So that's what was on ground then. But since they have not heard anything, but I believe they would have called some of the local government chairmen. They were talking to the governor anyhow to order. Then also, why I believe why they are causing distraction to the governor. Once he's distracted, he might not be able to focus on governance, governing the state. His mind will not be settled. So there are some, like you rightly said, there are some people that might be sponsored to just cause distraction to the governor. But I believe he will achieve. And the governor was once a civil servant. And civil servants, they are strong people. They know how to handle issues and pressures.
That's true. That's true. He's a grassroots person too. But he strikes me as more of an administrator than a politician. But he's a very smart guy. And if you consider the fact that a lot of
the governor does not talk much.
Yes. And if you are my godfather and all your secrets are with me, you don't really have to talk too much. Psychologically, you as my godfather, you'll be afraid that when this guy decides to open the Pandora can, it may not be palatable. And if you look at Nyesom Wike's situation, it's not as if APC has accepted him completely. And now his political career in PDP is as good as over. It's just somewhere in between. I believe Tinubu just used him to win this election, because without Wike, the eastern or southeastern part of Nigeria would not have been delivered. So his political future in Nigeria is very, very dicey. That is Wike. So all these games he's playing, I don't know where it will land him at the end of the day. But in Port Harcourt, what's the average man in Port Harcourt? What's their allegiance? To whom is their allegiance? Is it to Wike or to Fubara? What is the common man on the street of
Like
Port
in
Harcourt saying?
Rivers State as a whole,
Yes.
both the most indigent and the non-indigent, they are standing with what's it called, Governor Sim Fubara. It's just few handful of loyalists that are loyal to Governor Wike. But if you go outside and you make a finding, majority of the people are with the governor. That's Governor Sim Fubara. Then one other thing, why myself I want to blame Governor Sim for all the challenges he's going through. You know, I believe they would have had an agreement before Wike, before Sim went to contest for the primaries. So when you've known that these are the things that your godfather said, and you're going against it, you have to be ready to face whatever thing
The consequences
that might come your way. Yes, the consequences. Then also for Governor Wike, if even if Wike was in Sim's position, he would have done same, because every politician, they have their own persons that, or their kind of people that they might want to work with. So for Sim to have, even if Sim is loyal to Wike, to get to a point that he will want to bring in his own people, the kind of people you want to work with, so that he can sit very well. That's just it.
Yes, I agree with you. The one thing that I blame Fubara for is that you knew all along that without Wike, he would never have won the election. He gave you all the support.
And you know the kind of person that Wike is.
He gave you the cash. Even Wike publicly went as far as saying that he bought forms for most of these people, which is a statement that may end up backfiring against him. But Fubara knew what he was in for. And then at the end of the day, he turned back on Wike. But if you look at a Wike style too, Wike is a dictatorial kind of governor. He's like a military man. He doesn't accommodate divergent views. He wants things to be done the way he wants it. And so a lot of people find that difficult, that kind of character difficult to work with. The support Wike gave to Fubara for governorship, many people see it as a strategy to protect his interest and avoid future scrutiny. Because if one of his godsons does not win the election and someone else gets there, immediately that person wants to probe, especially in the area of misappropriation of funds. Because, Wike was called Mr. Project when he was governor, and he embarked on a lot of projects. So people will begin to
about 12 flyovers.
Yes. So people will begin to inquire to find out why exactly are the loopholes. Is it that he diverted some of those projects to his personal companies or companies of his supporters? So if someone like Fubara entered and cooperated with him, the possibility of those things being investigated is very, very slim. So I guess that's why. So that's why I'm a bit upset with Sim Fubara. If you agreed with someone that this is the way it's going to go, then you don't get there after
and
some
the way
time.
the person behave.
So that's why I have a problem with him. But that notwithstanding, I feel the guy too feels that that man, his excesses are too much, number one. Number two, he feels that he may not even have capital and cash to work with, because Wike took a lot of money out of River State, a lot of money. And when you come in as a new governor, you need capital to work with. You need capital to run projects. Look at the projects that Wike have failed to finish now. Fubara has to look for funds from anywhere it is to balance those people to complete those projects. So maybe he was already looking at it that this guy has taken so much money out, and by the time he starts to control me again, to take more money, it will be difficult for me to achieve anything as a governor. Maybe I feel that may be why he turned around, because his reluctance to expose Wike stems from his previous role within the same administration. He was the accountant general. Even if Wike is the Oga, whatever it is he says Wike did, he himself will be culpable. That's just the way I see it. Or what I just wanted to ask you now, Warifa, is that what do you think eventually will be? I feel at the end of the day, everything will just die down. A lot of Wike's loyalists would have to stop all this sabotage and accept their fate, because I don't see how the resolve of the River State people, the Ijaw people, and some past governors like Peter Odili behind Sim Fubara would collapse under the pressure of Wike. A lot of support. Now, as far as River State is concerned, Wike is not as strong as Fubara, and he doesn't have access to as much funds as he used to, because now he's in Abuja. So that's just what I feel. I feel everything will eventually die down, and Sim Fubara would at least do his first 4 years, his first term. I feel the area where Wike might be waiting for him is if he decides to run for his second term. What do you think, Warif?
Yeah, you just said it all. Because number one, Wike, the local government chairman, they are loyalists to Wike. So if Governor Sim can successfully put his own person there or people that are neutral, it will work for him. Then I just believe what Sim, the FCT minister, that Governor Wike, former Governor Wike, might be planning now. You might just allow him to do his first term, then look for a way to what's it called? Bring some. But one thing is that you cannot always be fighting against your own self. What do I mean by that? For Wike to want to be the hero, to always plant people there, you cannot always control the governor. The governor too has his own say, even if Governor Sim Fubara does not come back from the second, and maybe successfully bring in somebody for this. It somehow, and the River Soup, I don't think they will want that to happen. And the upland people, that's the Query people, Amaechi has ruled for 8 years, Wike ruled for 8 years. So right now, and again, the reason why some Ijaw people are dancing around Governor Wike, the FCT minister, Governor Wike, is that I believe they have interest in becoming the next governor, just like former Senator Magnus Abi. Right now, he's in contempt with what's it called, the FCT minister, former Governor Wike. So I believe he has an interest of becoming the next governor. But I know Ogoniman has ever ruled River State as the governor. So I believe he has that interest. That's why he's dancing around Governor Wike.
I believe you, and I believe everybody is just basically fighting for their political futures. But it will be it will be extremely difficult to do anything in these first 4 years of Fubara's. If Wike is going to do anything that will affect him, he would have to wait for the next round of elections. Because by every passing day, Sim Fubara is consolidating his power in Rivers State, and he has the support of the people. The support of the people is massive. Very, very important. Hello, Arifa. Sorry, I lost my signal. I had to connect to another network. So let's just quickly round up. So my final thoughts is the fact that there's nothing anybody can do in the first 4 years if Wike has any ace up his sleeves, it will have to be in the next round of elections. I don't know what you think, really.
I believe that's what Wike will be planning towards right now, because he already said it, that putting Governor Sim Fubara there was a mistake. He apologized.
Big mistake.
So I believe he'll be so he'll be working towards bringing in somebody. That's why you see some of the job people will be dancing around Governor Wike, because they have interest in that position. Because, and like I said, an upland man, Ikwere man has ruled for, Amici ruled for 8 years. Governor Amici ruled for 8 years. So I believe right now is the turn for the job people, that the riverine people. Yeah, so if Governor Sim Fubara is not able to come back for the second time, so that means another job man will be there. So that's why I believe some of the job people, persons are dancing around Governor Wike. It's not as if they really want to be around him, but I believe it's just because of the interest, their selfish interest, to be around, to become the governor from the next tenure.
Okay, thank you very much, Warifa, for your time. It's been wonderful discussing Nigerian politics with you. I look forward to this kind of discussion again in the future. So it's still Political Animals, and from here, it's Afolabi. See you next time. Good night, Warifa.